There is a woman who has just a couple of years ago lost her husband in Lagos. She had to bring her 2 kids to Kaduna just for her to start up all over again. On the 31st of March 2012, they were supposed to come to Abuja actually, so with a family friend. So they decided to pass through Minna because this family friend lost his brother. So they said, okay, in Minna. So they said, okay, let's go to Minna, pay condolence visit. From there now, you can come to Abuja. They went to Minna. They drove to Minna. They paid condolence visit. They were there in the brother's house. In the evening, they said, okay, let them drive back to where they are staying. As they were passing through Niteco Junction in Minna, there's a street they call Niteco Junction. There were some policemen around the corner. It was dark, I think it should be around 8 or 9 or so. When they passed through that junction, there was a gunshot behind. I think it was from the policemen that was behind. The bullet pierced through the back of their car and hit her through the back head, straight to her brain.
And that when they got to that Niteco roundabout junction, there were policemen on duty, and they were stopped, and after the normal police routine check, they were asked to proceed. Barely immediately they moved, there was a gunshot from one of the policemen at the checkpoint. And this gunshot led to a bullet being pierced from the back of her head and lodged in her skull. She was thereafter rushed to Minna Specialist Hospital, thereafter Minna, for treatment, and the consultant discovered that the matter was beyond their control, which they could not handle. Immediately that same night, she was transferred to the National Hospital Abuja, whereupon she was admitted and placed under intensive care. She was in the hospital for over 5 months on admission, and a series of operations were carried out. Unfortunately, till date, she still has a bullet lodged in her skull, because according to the medical report from Abuja, the National Hospital is not equipped to carry out that type of operation to remove the lodged bullet, as they do not have the facilities and the risk involved. Fati has since then been suffering untold hardships. It has affected her reasoning, her movements. Even she's more or less a vegetable, in a vegetable condition.
I can't remember what happened. Just that I could always wake up and find myself in the hospital, and I was shot by the police.
After various surgeries, only God made her to survive, because we gave up. But I think it's the prayer and the fasting we all had, and the challenge we gave God, that made her to survive. It's rather unfortunate.
Well, one of the most painful aspects of this case is that since this lady was injured in 30th March 2012, And all her stays at the National Hospital, the police never bothered to assist her or the family financially. To the extent that the family has to source for money for her immediate treatment. And that I was meant to understand close to about 2 million and above. Until date, she's still not okay. And if she has to be flown abroad for comprehensive medical attention, I don't see the family spending anything less than 50 million. And where do they get this kind of money from? So that makes her condition very, very, pathetic. Because now her reasoning faculty, there's nothing to write home about. She's seriously sick. And it's getting worse by the day.
I'm feeling uncomfortable. And my kids are there. No one to take good care. Nobody to take care of them. Because I can't help myself. Because the bullet is still in my head.
The police, nobody even came to the hospital to see her. Simple courtesy. When we tried to get in touch with the police, all what they told us was that, personally, I called the commissioner of police then. What she told me was that the police officer that arrested, that shot my sister, was arrested and dismissed from the service. And that's all they can do. So we are left with our fate. I was able to contact the permanent secretary, Officer Management Board in Minna. What he told me was that the commissioner is aware, the Niger state government, through the executive governor, they are trying to see if they can take her abroad. They have promised to sponsor her abroad for medical treatment. But up till today, as I'm talking to you now, since the day she was admitted till today, there has been no positive response. Financially, taking her to abroad for medical treatment, nothing.
And her condition has continued to deteriorate. Several appeals have been made to the police. I wrote to the Commissioner of Police, Niger State, sometime in June last year, drawing the attention to her predicaments. Nothing was heard. Sometime in August this year, I wrote to the Commissioner of Police, precisely 7th of July this year. We wrote to the Commissioner of Police, Niger State, reminding them of her conditions. That same week, we wrote to the Inspector General of Police, informing them of her condition. But it did, nothing has been heard.
In fact, I wrote letters to almost every known person in Abuja. I wrote to the president, I wrote to the Senate president, I wrote to the speaker, I wrote to the deputy speaker, wrote to Minister of Women Affairs, wrote to the Attorney General of the Federation. Nobody identified to respect this case. But no one was ready to respond. This is the kind of country we are living in.
Fati has since then been suffering untold hardships. It has affected her reasoning, her movements. Even she's more or less a vegetable, in a vegetable condition, and now resides with her mother, who now caters for her.
Ever since she has been shot, nobody even cared about what happened. Life has been a kind of miserable for us. I can no longer go to school, and huge amount of dues have been paid on her extent. That's by my uncles and my aunties, which are it kind of contributed a lot towards keeping her. Ever since she's been shot, me and my sister have not been able to go to school normally. I've been even affected both psychologically and emotionally. And nobody's even doing anything to help about it. If not, as in the relatives, thank God, as in for the relatives we have.
Very, very bad. The situation is bad. Every day is getting worse and worse. Because she always complains, my head. It's heavy, it's paining me. She'll talk. Today she'll talk another thing, tomorrow she'll talk another thing, she'll talk. After how many minutes she has forgotten what she has talked about.
She's not alright. She's not alright at all. As in, they spent a lot of money to the extent that, as in, she has to go for a scan about 85,000 naira for like 3 months. Even while we're at National Hospital, my uncles, they paid a bill of 1.5 million naira, and we still have an outstanding debt of 1 million naira. Even money to go for her regular medical checkup now, which as in was prescribed to her as in by her neurosurgeon, well, is even a problem. And every night she complains of headache. Even me myself, I don't sleep, I don't feel comfortable. My mom means everything to me, but how would I feel? She has been the breadwinner of the family ever since my father was late. She paid for her school fees, she did as in everything to make us feel comfortable and have a as in wonderful life. But even now she can no longer do her business, she's not having any money, there's nothing, and she still needs medication even up till now. Even at the extent while we're at the hospital, she goes for scan for as in every week about 90,000, 95,000, 100,000, just different scans. Talking less of the money we spent on drugs apart from hospital accommodation. She had to be on an injection 3 days a week, which cost as in 28,000 naira. And still now she needs to go for regular medical checkup, but at least she stays up to, let me say, a month now. She doesn't go to the hospital. My uncle keeps calling them time to time. He has put a lot of effort towards contacting people as in responsible for all these kind of cases, but nobody is just willing to hear us out. My mom here, she complains of headache every day. Even that alone is, I think, it makes me lose as in concentration at times and focus. I don't just know what to say, but I just hope something could be done or would be done. That's, we are appealing on behalf of her, my sister, and for the sake of our education. We just hope and pray that something will be done. Thank you.